Marika's light. This is not a story about Marika's curse. It is a story about what the abyss forged in her shadow. The Abyssal Pools are no mere byproduct of Decathy or a codex. Their descriptions whisper of a twilight womb, of flesh unmade before Marika's light. The preserve, a relic dark older than the soul, fourth Lord's soul, her the grace. It was engineered by the unmaking abyss, the womb where replacement for what Manus awakening learned to dream devoured. The preserve, a relic dark older than the soul, Elden. What was it? It was engineered by the unmaking, the source, the womb where replacement for what Mani. The pools are not Marika's doing. They are a ledger of unmaking, older than her ascension. The dark was never corruption, it was a void the gods feared, a womb where entropy conceived. The abyss did not merely consume the four kings. It devoured Artoria's, Ulasil's spires, entire epochs. The dark soul is no divine curse. It is a forge, a replacement. Marika's light was the anomaly. The true cycle is not rebirth but erasure. Every age is a wound the abyss licks closed. The first flame was never salvation, it was a match struck in the dark, a lie to delay the inevitable. What if the Elden lords were not fallen? What if they were unmade? The abyssal pools seethe inviolate, their waters thick with the scent of burning honey and rot. Here the air hums with a dissonance older than Marika's hymns. The twilight womb etched into the stone chiseled by hands long dissolvedos, not cradle life. It incubates erasure. Unmaking flesh clings to the mire, a phrase that reeks of purpose, not accident. This is no mere scar of the first flame's death. The pools pulse like a heartbeat, their tides lapping at the bones of something buried deeper than the Erdtree's roots. The furtive pygmy, that hollow-eyed architect, did not stumble upon humanity by chance. They parcel it out with ritual precision, each shard a key to a lock Marika never forged. The dark soul is no cursed shard, it is a graft, a replacement. The abyss did not corrupt the lands between, it designed the template. Every lord who sought Elden's light was sculpted in this twilight womb, only to be unraveled thread by thread. The myth of Marika's gift is a shroud woven to hide the truth. The curse was never hers, it was the blueprint and the pools. They are the cradle where the old god's experiment began. What if the first flame was never meant to burn? What if it was meant to be unmade? The abyssal pools hum with a truth no scholar dares name. The dark soul's item text carves it plain, unmaking, not curse. Marika's gift was a lie etched in ash. The furtive pygmy did not scatter fragments of a broken god, no. It bore a weapon forged in the pools, a soul sculpted to supplant Marika's order. The abyss did not corrupt the first flame. It built the dark soul to replace it. The gods feared the dark not as evil, but as erasure, a void that does not consummate unweaves. The pools are no accident, they are blueprints. Their churning waters map the dark soul's gestation, a fourth lord soul birthed to dissolve the old world's seams. The pygmies' deliveries were not theft. They were deployment. Mortals carried the abyss blade into the heart of Marika's realm. What if the dark soul's hunger is not malice but purpose? A design to unravel the first flame's brittle design. The abyss did not lose, it waited. Every humanity-wielding hero was a pawn in a slow unmaking. The pools whisper it still, the dark was never the enemy. It was the eraser, and the abyss the patient hand holding it. The twilight womb is no poetic flourish. Ancient scripts etched in the pool's mire name it explicitly a cradle of unbecoming. These texts predate Marika's first breath, yet mirror the first flame's dying pulse. What hatches in shadow does not mimic time's decay. It anticipates it. The four kings did not fall to fire. Their flesh was unmade, rewritten as the dark soul's scaffolding. The pool's murk bears the same texture, the same hunger. A womb does not nourish what it cannot control. The abyss does not birth. It borrows forms, hollows them, fills the void with its own script. Scholars trace the undead curse to Marika's sorrow. They are wrong. The curse is the abyss signature, inked in rot. Every withering limb, every collapsing soul is a glyph in its cipher. The pools are not a byproduct of the first flame's death. They are a blueprint for what replaces it. Marika's myth is a single line in a longer story. The pools whisper the rest. Her gift was never a curse. It was a handover. A throne seated, not claimed. The dark soul's shape is not an accident. It is a design, and the womb. A monument to the mother who made it. Why do the pools go unread? Because to see their truth is to unmake the lie that holds the world together. The abyss does not need to rise. It only needs to be seen and still the light looks away. The abyss did not devour Ulasil by accident. Its hunger carved a glyph for kings, a night, a city raised to fuel the very cursed souls now bear. See the echo, consumption becomes distribution. What is unmade here is reborn there, a cycle not of decay but design. The first flame's wane began before Marika's light ascended. The pools stirred in that Gapa shadow between eras. Their tides did not mimic the flame's death. They preceded it. The abyssal pools are no orphaned wound. They are the womb where Marika's rival gestated. Artorias fell, Ulasil burned. The dark souls spread followed, each collapse a seed, each soul a scar. The abyss does not corrupt. It completes . A theft so precise, so ancient, it rewrote the myth of Marika's gift. The pools are the codex. Their depths chart the engineered erosion of a god. No one sees because the truth is etched in absence. The first flame's last breaths fed the pools. The pool's last victims became the curse. The cycle is closed. The dark soul is not Marika's shadow. It is her antithesis birthed in the void she failed to claim. The abyss waits not to rise but to be red . And still the light looks away. The furtive pygmy's hand in scattering the dark soul appears to defy the abyss design. How can a force of unmaking gift what it seeks to erase? The answer writhes in the pool's ink-black stillness. The pygmy's act is no mistake. It mirrors Marika's hollow generosity, a counterfeit offering to lure the lost deeper. The dark soul's formless hunger its undifferentiated voides no accident. It is the abyss script written in the same tongue as Marika's laws. To replace her it must first imitate her. The pools are not chaos. They are a palimpsest overriding the first flame's coda with a new beginning. The pygmy is not a rebel but a scribe, transcribing the unmaking into a language the weary can grasp. The contradiction is a cipher. The abyss does not destroy, it replaces . Each soul it mimics is a glyph in its growing lexicon, a bridge from order to its inversion. The dark soul is not a shadow of Marika's light, it is her negation, inked in the same quill. The pools whisper this truth, but the living hear only echoes of what they believe. The abyss waits, not to be defeated, to be understood . The abyssal pools are not mere residue of decay, they are blueprints. The unmaking flesh that seeps from their depths is the same undifferentiated dark that births the dark soul, a lineage etched in erosion, not creation. The furtive pygmy's gift of humanity is no accident. It is the abyss' slow drip of poison into the veins of the god's design. Ulasil's consumption mirrors this. The city's flesh became a template, its ruins a mold for the dark soul's spread. Every human who bears that undying spark carries a shard of the abyss will. The pools whisper this truth, but scholars chart their tides as if they were stars. They miss the script in the slime. The dark soul was never meant to save, it was always the replacement. A fourth lord soul forged in the abyss forge, to unmake what Marika's light could not unbind. The cycle is not a loop. It is a spiral, each age peeling back another layer of the old order. The first flame's death was not failure, it was permission. The abyss does not conquer, it rewrites, and the pools, they are the prologue, written in a language the living refuse to read. Until the dark is no longer absence, until it is all that remains. The abyssal pools are not a setting, they are a ledger of unmaking. If the dark soul was forged in their depths, then Marika's gift was a fiction. The first flame's wane was not failure, it was invitation. The Erd tree's roots drank not life but erasure. What if the gods feared not the dark but their own irrelevance? The pools whisper of a force older than flame, older than will. It does not corrupt, it obliterates. The dark soul is no curse. It is a weapon, a tool of the abyss to unweave what the gods cannot unmake themselves. Marika's ascension was not triumph, it was surrender. Her light planted the Erd tree, yes, but the tree's fruit is dissolution. The cycle is not rebirth, it is digestion. The abyss does not hunger. It is hunger. Every age that clings to flame, to order, to name-seach is a meal already chewed. And we, who carve meaning into shadows, are the meal still whole. Why do the living refuse to read the pools? Because to see their truth is to watch the stars dissolve, one by one, until the dark is no longer absence. Until it is all that remains. What lingers when the stars fall, the pools do not weep thee calculate, unmaking is no end point. It is the forge where first flames ash becomes dark soul's hunger. The furtive pygmy sowed fragments like seeds, calling them humanity. But seeds need not grow true. If the abyss crafted this parasite to replace Marika's light, what does that make the gods' failure, a surrender? A sacrifice or a confession? You have seen the codex, you have traced the lines from flame to rot. Now, does the dark soul hunger to unmake, or was it hungry first? The comment section waits. What truth do you carry into the void? What lingers when the stars fall? The pools do not weep thee calculate. Unmaking is no end point. It is the forge where first flames ash becomes dark soul's hunger. The furtive pygmy sowed fragments like seeds, calling them humanity. But seeds need not grow true. If the abyss crafted this parasite to replace Marika's light, what does that make the gods' failure, a surrender? A sacrifice or a confession? You have seen the codex, you have traced the lines from flame to rot. Now, does the dark soul hunger to unmake, or